your line of credit is good to go. You can use it starting at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning.
I'm chasing the flames.
And listen, I gotta go. I'm on call with this guy 24/7. Bye.
Hello, George. It's Jaime. I got some big shot clients coming in from Atlanta. They love the southern thing you do. You know, that steaming and coals and cooking on that Argentinian thing with the asado or whatever you call it. I can't remember, but whatever you do that fire thing you do. Like that lamb you make. It's delicious. Stuffed with mint, garlic, lemon. It's wonderful. And steaming. They love steaming. Like that cod you do, George. Whole fillets. Unbelievable. Amazing. And how about some steamed squash? Steam, steam, steam. It's not just squash, George. It's Acorn. Don't forget to use that Moroccan oil you use. Unbelievable. If you don't use that oil, it'll be a disaster. And don't forget the garlic and the butter. You always say it's better with butter. If you don't use butter, the meal will be a disaster. And finally, I saw that you do that peanut butter pie you do. Now remember, when you make the pie, some of them have peanut allergies, so be careful with the peanuts, George. If anybody has a reaction, it'll be a complete disaster.
This is episode 5, and this is all about big proteins. We like big prawns, we like big proteins. And as you know, we shoot 2 shows in one day. So the other show, number 6, is got a big protein as well. But this is about fire control. This is about knowing your fire, knowing your heats, understanding how fast that wood is burning. You need to replace it because these are long cooks, okay? Long cooks mean you gotta keep checking in. You gotta keep taking temps. You gotta work with the fire. You might have to add more fuel. Obviously, if you're out there for 4 hours, a fire isn't gonna last 4 hours without refueling to some extent. So the key to big proteins is check them, temp them. What do they look like? What are they sounding like? And more importantly, I think what it is, it's a test of patience and consistency, okay? Big proteins require you to be patient, but consistently check that temp. Now, we're gonna spice them a little bit differently. We're gonna season them a little bit differently than we have other proteins in the past. We're actually gonna infuse these flavors. And later on in episode 6, you'll see something really exciting. And it's pretty too, but it's a big protein because we like big proteins. So let's get back to chasing the flames. We got some lamb here. There's a certain thing about lamb you got to be careful about, and that is when you're holding it before you cook it, you got to keep it cool, okay? Always remember that. We're not going to do a lot of trimming here. You know, if I wanted to be really fancy, I'd French the bone, which I might do, but this is about what we need to do when we season it, all right? So we need to, whatever we do to one side, we need to do to the other side, right? That's logical. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this really pretty knife that's very, very sharp, and we're gonna poke some holes in here, and we're gonna plant a little garlic, a little mint, and these lemon slices are going to go in there. And it's just going to infuse into that meat over time. So I'm going to take this side, I'm going to punch the holes, I'm going to put all this wonderful stuff in, and then we're going to flip it over, we're going to do it, and then we're going to rub it down with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, really good stuff, and then we're going to salt and pepper it. And we just might, throw a little bit of garlic powder on it, but not very much, because we got that garlic in those holes that we stabbed the leg with this wonderful knife. So let's get started in stabbing the holes and flavoring this son of a gun up. Take your finger there, round out that hole, and just shove it all the way in there. Not going to hurt it a bit. The little juice comes out. That'll be absolutely groovy. We'll take a little garlic here. We'll put some in there, just like that. Just shove it down in that hole. We're going to grab a little mint, all right? Oh, it smells wonderful. And we're going to just leave the stem off. We'll shove that mint down there with that garlic. And we'll take a little more mint over here. We'll fold this guy in half, all right? And we're going to shove him right down in there with that lemon. There we go. Takes a little work, got to do a little pushing. Take your time. Don't worry. This is what seasoning is all about. This is the fun part. So we're going to take this guy, and we're going to put lemon and garlic together there. Shove that down in the hole. And we might take a mint leaf and might have enough room for that. So that's in there as well. Now, the important thing you got to know is this is all low and slow, right? We're going to put this on the Asado grill. The Asado is going to turn this thing into an absolute wow good product. There we go. Got that, got that. There we go, got that. That's a good spot. This is a good spot right here. Not going to hurt anything. Take your time. Because this is going to cook really all day. That's not a bad thing. All right, there we go. Another one over here. You don't want to poke too many holes in here because you will dry the meat out. So just a few, just enough, a little more mint. Everybody likes mint with their lamb, right? If you don't, there's something wrong. All right, we got that in there. Maybe a little more garlic over here. Garlic never hurt anybody. Now, some people will actually put cubes of butter in here. And I never have cottoned to that idea because once this heat from the AC, the fire in the AC hits, that butter is going to melt away pretty fast. It's probably not going to leave too much flavor there. So I would probably not do that. I don't do it, but you might want to, because maybe you believe, like I believe, everything is better with butter. There we go. A little more mint. Don't be afraid of the mint. And we're gonna make a mint oil a little later. And that mint oil is going to be splattered on this while it cooks out there on the AC. Let's get a little more, probably one there, maybe got that there. That's probably going to be just about it. All right. Now, let's hit the other side. Look at this. Look at this leg. We're going to leave all this fat on it because it's going to render off. And the reason it's going to render off is because it's going to be there all day. And it's going to keep this meat nice and moist. That's really the most important thing about lamb. Lamb can have a tendency to dry out on you a little bit. You got to be very diligent about watching it, making sure that you've got proper temps on your wood, your fuel, your fire. There we go. Got those guys in there. Let's get this lemon in there. There we go. Get a little garlic over here. A little more mint. on that guy. Don't be afraid of that mint. And what we're going to do, we've got garlic there. Get another piece here. Shoot that in there. That in there. A little more mint. And over here on the end, I'm just going to put mint. Okay? And you're saying, why not add the other stuff? Well, this is really the most tender part down here of our leg of lamb. And this is where that fat's going to render, so it's going to, the mint's going to flavor the fat. Right at the bottom as this sort of renders off as it's sitting on the AC. And then you've got a done lamb leg that's got full of lemon, full of mint, full of garlic. Salt and pepper will be go over the top with a really good extra virgin olive oil. And then you're ready to cook this son of God. Let's get to it. Let's get back to chasing the flames.
Chasing the flames, chasing the flames.
Hi folks, Morley Fletcher here, owner of Santa Fe Kia. As our construction continues, so do the huge savings at Santa Fe Kia. That means low down payments, low monthly payments. Combine those two gives you huge savings. Go to our website at santafekia.com, check out our whole amazing inventory, and let us know what's going to work for you. Santa Fe Kia, where we treat you different. Oh, and one more thing. All you have to do is mention Chasing the Flames when you contact us or come to the dealership. You're going to receive an additional $500 discount over and above our already low prices.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Sous in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Let's get back to chasing the flames. Let's get it started a little bit further towards the flame just to get the heat up. Here we go. Yeah. That's a big protein. Let's get back to chasing flames. All right, we're back with Chef Dakota Roller. And the name of his website is?
rollersprivatedinners.com.
See? Simple. You want a private dinner? This is the guy to call. Now, we are going to prepare, he is going to prepare this wonderful squash dish. Let me tell you where it came from. Squash, there's an array of them. There's a family of them, okay? They're all different kinds. Some of them have different textures at different ends of the squash. My favorite is the acorn squash, but I like the bottom of it. Usually I cut the tops off and then I use the bottom because I just think it's more meaty, it's more flavorful, it's more fun. And Chef here, we cooked this together. This is kind of a funny story. It turns out that my wife and I have actually known this guy his entire life. We actually saw him in his mother's womb at a Michael Martin Murphey concert in Red River. Can you believe that? So anyway, a rather circuitous route which we got together. We hit it off on the phone and we decided we needed to cook together. So we did, and we made this dish. This dish is very simple. You hollow this out. He's going to show you all the techniques involved here. It's a very simple recipe that will be on chasingtheflames.com. And I want you to know that when you cook, you got to have fun. That's what we're doing. We're cooking, we're having fun, we're checking on stuff, we're looking at our big proteins, we're making some shrimp stock, we made some ceviche already, we're just moving, shaking. I made the Kraft today. Nobody liked the chorizo burgers because there's a whole bunch of them left, so if you want some, email me and I'll ship them to you. But anyway, I'm going to let Chef rock and roll here, step by step with all these techniques, and you'll see how easy it is. And then we're going to cook it on live fire in the coals after we wrap it in a little tin foil. So, rock and roll, chef, take it away, pal.
All right. So the first step in this dish would be we have to top these squash off. So because this is like an acorn squash cousin, it's got this indent on the top. So you want to kind of go maybe 3/4 down and just slice, remove your hand, press down on the top. You get a nice even cut there. And then what we'll do is we will core this out, get all these seeds out. And if you want to save those for later, they're pretty nutritious. So we're going to take some of this Moroccan olive oil and we're just going to do a nice even coat. And you're just going to want to take your hands, rub it all around on the inside, and that gets the seasoning to stick nice and easy. And once that's done, we can take our salt and just grind a little salt onto the inside, onto the rim. Be nice and generous, and then we'll do the same thing with the pepper, nice and even. Now that that's all seasoned, what we'll do is we'll take a little bit of fresh basil and a couple sprigs, a couple leaves in there, and a spritz of fresh orange juice around and inside, a couple cloves of crushed garlic right in the middle, beautiful, a nice slab of butter, and then we're going to take some Canadian whiskey and just pour that maybe 1/4 of the way full. And then from there, you take the top, secure it right back on there, and then we will wrap that in foil and get that into coals. This squash is going to taste wow good.
This is little cuz, Abel Lovato, my buddy from culinary school. We're out here at the AC, the fire pit, and this is a pretty lively fire we've maintained. It's not a low fire. This is what we call a bright fire. Now, in order to add and infuse a little more flavor, and it does work, I promise you, we put rosemary on top of the logs. Now, when you do that, what's interesting is it takes on the aroma. It makes your yard smell fantastic, certainly, but it does help because this is a subtle way to smoke. Okay, people don't know this. We've got smoke coming off it, and every time we add wood, there's more smoke that comes off it. It's fantastic. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to lift the flavor level a little bit, and Abel's going to throw that big bundle of rosemary on. We're going to come back and do it again. We're going to keep that rosemary aroma in the air. It makes it a lot more fun. And if you smell bad, forgot to shower that day, then you won't notice because of the rosemary aroma. So go ahead and knock it dead.
So how often would you say we're going to do this?
So
we're going to do it multiple times.
Yeah, we'll probably do it 3 more times before 5 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah, and see how that smoke's coming up now? Look at that. A little steam, because there's some moisture in the rosemary, but we're starting to smell it over here.
All right. We're now making a peanut butter pie. I'm going to do my own little twist first. I'm going to do a bizcochito crust. So what we're going to do, in here I have the bizcochitos, some brown sugar, and a little bit of extra cinnamon. Earlier I made some brown butter. You don't have to make brown butter, you can just do melted butter. Now because of the bizcochitos, they have a lot of lard and therefore have a lot more moisture than your normal graham crackers. So you want to be careful with how much butter you add. You want it to be able to come together and almost be able to make a ball. See, it's still a little too crumbly, so we're going to add a little bit more of our butter. All right, now you can see I can get it to form a little bit. So we're going to put it in a 9-inch pie plate is what I'm going to use. And when using bizcochitos, I found that you have to make a little bit more crust than you do with graham crackers because the flavor's not quite as intense. And now I'm just using any old measuring cup. This way you can smooth out your crust and push it up the sides. Now we're going to throw it into the beast just long enough to try to release some of the aromatics like the cinnamon. Keep in mind these bizcochitos are already cooked, so you don't necessarily need to worry about color.
Chef Dakota and I are cooking this wonderful little squash that's filled with a lot of goodness in it, a lot of wow goodness, let me tell you. And he's going to place these are double wrapped in tin foil, and he's going to place these right on the back side of that fire, and every 10 minutes for about 20 minutes we're going to turn it. Then, since you can't actually tell how well it's cooked, we're going to lift one out at about 25 minutes, and we're going to unfurl the foil. Say that 5 times real fast. And then we're going to check it. But we're shooting for like 150, 160 degrees, somewhere in there. So rock and roll, chef. Perfecto. That's perfect. That's perfect. Right there. Okay. This is not set and forget, mind you. We got to come back and check this in a little while because we can't see it. It's like cooking blind. We'll see you later in just a few after we're done chasing the flames over here.
Chasing the flames, chasing the flames.
Need custom shirts, polos, or promotional gear? Fast, affordable, and with zero hassles? At Turbo Threads, we offer digital printing and embroidery with low minimums and no setup charges. Whether you're outfitting a team, promoting your business, or just want a standout custom shirt, we've got you covered. Quick turnaround, quality you can trust. Located right here in Rio Rancho, Turbo Threads, your one-stop shop for custom apparel and promo products. Visit turbothreads.com or call 505-999-1234 today, because great-looking gear shouldn't wait.
Let's get back to chasing the flames. So I just got through making some mint butter with clarified butter. All right, what's clarified butter? Well, they take all of the milk solids out of the butter, and so it's very clear, and we call it clarified. So I have my little mop here. I put some mint in there. I melted the butter. If you had smell vision, you'd be crazy right now. This lamb is actually cooking very, very fast. We moved the fire up a little bit. We added some more logs towards the front. So we're ready to turn this. But before we turn it, we're going to baste this side with this clarified mint butter. Everything's better with butter, right? So here we go. Just take a second. We'll get this nice and coated. And the one thing you're noticing here, and you should see when you put this on your Argentinian cross, Asado Cross, is that the meat is shrinking. And so it's pushing out all that garlic and all those lemons that we stuffed deep in that tissue. And it is just gorgeous. We know we're ready to turn. So, there we go, get a little over there, make sure we got some there. And then we're gonna save a little bit for the front side. We've got good temperature on the front side. We're at about 160 degrees. We don't wanna get past medium rare in the center, but these are cooking so well that we decided we're gonna go ahead and baste, which we did with some mint butter. And now we're gonna turn it. This is going to be about an hour. We're going to watch it very closely. About every 10 minutes, we're going to do a drive-by and make sure that we're not cooking it too fast. I'm going to move the fire back a little bit now because we wanted that nice glaze that you see here. Look at that. That's art. That's nature's artwork right there. And so I'm going to mess with the fire. So I'm going to walk in front of it, the camera, and I'm going to get my poker. I'm going to push it back. I think I might use a paddle, and stoke up that fire a little bit. And then we're going to pour more rosemary in again. And now what we're going to do is we've got all this beautiful mint in here. So guess what we're going to do with it? We're going to throw it on the fire and watch that fire spark up just a little bit, but then you're going to smell the mint. And if it was smell-o-vision, I'm telling you, it'd be good. Just sounds really good. A little frying going on there. And you could smell that mint. Boy, that's really coming through. And we basted both sides now. So we're going to time it exactly an hour. And we should be done, but we'll be checking it every 10 minutes. Let's get back to chasing the flames.
Alright, smell the cinnamon. So as you can see, we got a little bit of extra color to it. Now let that cool off so we can add our filling to it. Alright, so now we've made the crust. It's actually already out of the oven cooling. Now we're going to make the filling. So in here I have cream cheese, peanut butter. I also have some almond butter and pecan butter mixed in there as well to help mellow out some of that peanut butter flavor. And let's get this mixing, and at the same time, I'm also going to mix up the whipped cream over here, which will get folded in once this is light and fluffy. Alright, now they're mixed up. Alright, now we're gonna take our whipped cream. These were beat to stiff peaks, by the way. Now remember, when you're folding, you want to be gentle, otherwise you're gonna deflate your whipped cream, and well, then that defeats your purpose of whipping it up. So you always want to swipe around and get under in order to get it nice and evenly distributed. Do a quick little hold up to the camera so they can see. And our crust is still a little hot, so we're going to wait a little bit and allow this to cool. Then we'll add in our filling and put it in the freezer to cool off and set. Let's get back to chasing the flames.
This could use a little better. It's 119. It's good here.
All right, our crust has cooled off, so now we're gonna add in our filling. Smooth it out. And now we're gonna go into the freezer. And then once that's done, I'll make a ganache and we'll put that on top. Let's get back to chasing the flames.
I'm going to talk to you about steaming over coals. Now, this method compared to cooking large proteins is very, very quick. It's gentle. You don't waste much time. You don't have to worry about the fire other than the initial temperature when you lay the cod in there. We're going to take some cod. We're going to season it up very nicely. Lots of citrus in it, lots of acid, maybe a little rosemary, maybe a little thyme, salt, pepper, a little oil. We're going to fold that in to some tin foil. We're going to double wrap it, and then we're going to throw it right on the coals. In about 15 minutes, it's going to be done, and it'll be right at that perfect temperature, that perfect texture that we love to get when we cook cod. It's so simple. We took our cod, we kept it all together. We didn't cut it like we did last time, the thick and the thin. We're leaving it all in there. We've got some wonderful lemons, some Meyer lemons in there. We've got this thyme, we've got salt, pepper, a little extra virgin olive oil, and we added some Chinese white wine that has no alcohol in it. But you've heard me say it 1,000 times before, it raises this floral level. This fish takes up flavors very well and very swiftly. Okay, say that 5 times real fast. Fish swiftly, there we go. So we're gonna wrap this up. Let me show you a little trick here. See how I'm folding this inner layer over, okay? And I'm bringing this guy, and I'm bringing this guy, then I'm bringing this guy, then I'm bringing this guy. And this is gonna go right on the flames. And in about 20 minutes, it's gonna be wow good. Let's get started chasing the flames.
Chasing the flames, chasing the flames.
This is the commercial grade triple threat. This is what goes in restaurants. When you're a restaurant owner and you want to get into wood-fired cooking, you gotta get a smoker, you gotta get a wood-fired grill, then you gotta go get a wood-fired oven. 3 huge appliances, 3 penetrations or adjustments to your hood. No, you get all 3 right here. And guess what? 1 penetration. Now, what does it do? Well, we can grill. We can turn this into an oven and do pizza, or we can smoke from here. This is a fantastic device that allows restaurants to get in the wood-fired business very inexpensively and very quickly. Check it out on chasingtheflames.com. The big commercial grade. We call it the triple threat, and it's dynamite.
Hi, I'm George Lovato Jr., the on-call outdoor chef. And listen, thank you for watching Chasing the Flames. We have a ton of fun making it. But I want to remind you, watch out for episode 6 next week, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Shrimp poaching time. It's already getting pink. A gentle stir, kind of fold those into the potatoes.
It's one thing about this little pit boss is that it really throws out a lot of smoke. So we're going to get a very smoky flavor.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get these carrots right on the grill.
The end cut is always the chef's cut. Look at this. Oh, and we are done. That's prime rib. And I guarantee you this is gonna be wow good.
Let's get back to Chasing the Flames together.
Let's get back to chasing the flames.
All right, so now we're gonna make a chocolate ganache to go on our peanut butter pie. We got ourselves a double boiler set up. If you don't have a double boiler at home, you can just use any sort of pot with a bowl, metal bowl. Got chocolate chips here. I'm gonna add some heavy cream. And now we're just gonna slowly keep mixing it as it melts. And once it's fully melted, it'll be ready to put on our pie. And the whole idea of the double boiler is so that you don't burn the milk and the chocolate. Start to see that some of the chocolate's starting to melt. Our milk's turning a little brown from the chocolate melting. And now with the ganache, the way you control how thick you want it is by how much heavy cream you use. Now for this peanut butter pie, I want a fairly thin one because it's going to be a light, soft, almost cheesecake-like pie. So you don't want to be trying to break through a hard chocolate. Right now I'm going to take it off the double boiler, let it cool a little bit before putting it on our peanut butter pie. And it's going to be wow good.
All right, here's what's going to happen. We're done. We've hit the perfect temperature of 125 degrees. It's going to continue to cook as it rests, so don't worry about it. It's not raw. This is a very, very, very savory type of way to cook this meat. And so we're going to stand this up and we're going to take it out and we're going to lay it on top of these pans. Now, we're going to let it rest there, and all those drippings are going to wind up in the bottom of the pan. We may use that as a little au jus after we go and carve this, but we're going to let it rest right here. And as it's resting, all that residual heat from that metal is still traveling into that leg of lamb, and but it is going to cook just slightly bit longer. That's what happens when you rest. Here we go. There we go. Right on. That's pretty. Whew. That smells so good. We're back, and now we're going to carve the leg of lamb, this big protein that's been cooking on the AC all day. And as I've said in previous shows, my second job in high school, I learned how to cut meat at Carler's Meat Packing House in the South Valley. It's no longer there. But Jess Carler made me do all these jobs, and I learned how to cut meat. So the one rule with the leg of lamb here is take it away from the bone first, okay? So we're going to take this wonderful knife. I just absolutely adore it. And we're going to go down this bone like this. We're going to feel our way underneath here. Okay, we're getting that. There's the bone, is making the turn right there. And then we're going to flip it, and then we're going to turn it a little more, and we're going to push, 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 push. See how that's coming away from the bone? Down on the top. Got to have a little muscle. It's not that bad. You can learn to do this. See, we're sliding it along the bone. There, look at that color. Oh my God. Then we're going to go down right here. There we go. There we go. All right, a little more, right there. Getting it away from that bone, then down a little more. All right, and we're gonna flip it. We're gonna go back over here, and we're gonna hit it from behind. If you notice, I just stopped cutting because you always look, you always watch where you're cutting, even though my hand's not near it. Just a safety factor. And if you also notice, I have gloves on. This is because I'm carving this, and you're going to touch this with not only your fork, but you're also going to put it in your mouth. So you don't want my hands touching that meat that you just put in your mouth, right? Kind of gross. Yes, me. Now, the fun part about carving a leg of lamb is right in the middle. I get to do that. Oh my God. So good. One more turn, and she should pop right out. There we go. There's still more meat here on the bone, and I'm going to pull that off, but for the purposes of the show, we are going to carve this now so you can see this really pretty color. This is the outside, and as we get closer in, look at that. Look at that garlic clove still inside. That's perfect color. The guy in Australia that raised this would be very proud of me, because this is what his instructions were. Look at that juicy meat. Oh, God. This is so tender. Got a little bark on it, which you're going to like. The Asado Cross does that with that method of cooking, and it just takes time. There's mint inside here. Look at there. Remember when we did this earlier, we were shoving garlic, mint, and some lemon? Well, that's infused through all this meat. Okay, now that's a medium rare center. And now we're getting over to a spot where it was exposed to the heat just a little bit longer. And so it's going to be cooked a little bit more, but it's still moist as heck. Look at that. Look at that. I mean, that's just beautiful. Look at that meat. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that color. Look at that color. I want to explain about the bark, okay? Now, when you're using the Asado Cross, it's a method of not only cooking, but it does smoke your meat well. And so we've got this wonderful little smoke ring, or bark as I call it, because it's fairly, the texture of it is fairly stiff. It's hard, but that's where the flavor's at. That's where the flame provided the flavor, okay? And when you taste that, in fact, I'm absolutely positively compelled to just take that bark and, it's fabulous. It's beyond wow good. Let's get back to chasing the flames. Or maybe we shouldn't chase the flames anymore. Let's start eating. See you in a minute. Not to be outdone, the job chef did there. Those are the same ingredients that went in the steam that come out on the plate. Very little plating required. Listen, sponsors, where are you all? Turbo Threads, great work. And I like the way you guys, let me approve this and make little comments and so on. And do great work. Thank you so much for being a sponsor. Marty Sous, wow. He covers up this house that we almost set on fire today. So
don't say that out loud.
It happened.
The insurance will cover it.
Yeah, the insurance will take care of it. Marty, thank you for being a sponsor. Teresa, thank you for coming. And I know, under state law, you own half of that business too. So thank you for being a sponsor as well. And our friends, Paula and Ken, thanks for coming over.
Thank you.
And I want everybody to raise their glass and then put them down, because we're going to give a round of applause for that guy over there, Abel. And our newest member of the Chasing the Flames family, which is Dakota Roller, and he is at what again?
RollersPrivateDinners.com.
Okay, I can never remember that. No, I can't. I just says it better. So here's to everybody. Sponsors, thank you so much. And to our sous chefs.
You're here.
Chef guys. Great job. Can we get some thin plates out here and let's start serving it up?
Oh, the sweet potato salad came out really good.
I'm digging it.
Because the last time I didn't do the orange vinaigrette chance. So this has something.
Look up underneath it. It's one of the prettiest sights. The flame just roll over the top of that outdoor. Hey, this is the end of episode 5. We're kind of wrapping things up today. And I want to talk to you about what we did and how this is all about technique on this show. We're teaching you how, not what. And we cooked a big protein today. That was lamb legs on our AC, our Asado Cross. That took a long time, and it takes a lot of patience. And we steamed some cod. That was really groovy because it was fast, quick, and easy. 2 different techniques. We're all about technique. Our little cuz cooked some peanut butter pie, which is very southern. And we have that lamb, which you'll hear a lot about in the South, how they barbecue lamb and how it tastes wonderful in St. Louis. But they treat it differently, and they generally don't use an Asado Cross. That requires a different technique and different approach to fire. Now, I'd like to take this opportunity. You can see I'm surrounded by Kias. These are wonderful vehicles supplied by Santa Fe Kia, Morley Fletcher, and Sasha Fletcher. And they brought them up. This is my brand new Caravan that I'm driving now. I really like it. I want to thank Marty Sous, State Farm. I want to thank Turbo Threads. They're super people. All of our sponsors are super people. And also all the guys and girls over at Raytech that manufacture all our products. So I just want to say thanks to all of you, and especially you, the audience. Hey, let's get back to chasing the flames together.
I'm chasing the flame.
Hello, George. It's Jaime. So, how did it go?
Yes, they're having a great time. Super time. You can hear them in the background.
How did my southern clients like the steaming, the lamb, the cod, the squash, everything?
They enjoyed everything.
Did they like the Moroccan oil, George? They better have liked that Canadian whiskey, George, and the orange juice and garlic. Did you use the garlic, George? They love garlic. Just make sure you don't kill anybody with your breath. That would be a disaster. And I hope you use butter, George, because when you use butter, it's always better. You better have used butter, George.
Boss, I gotta go. Can you let me go?
You better have used butter, George.
I'm chasing the flame.
Does anybody know why there's a sink here? I know the audience has no clue why there's a sink here.
Chilies grow across green.
You know, I almost feel like I did something wrong because I didn't make that big of a mess today. Very unusual for myself.
With a flame. Anticipate.
A couple cloves of crushed butter.
We'll pick that up in post.
And well, we'll pick that up in post.
How's it gonna taste?
I think it's gonna taste really, really good. Really awesome.
No, wrong answer.
What is
Wow
the
good.
Wow good? Okay. We'll do that again. Ask me again, Chef.
I'm going to talk to you about, what was that?
La 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 la. Okay, imagine this.
I'm called create the perfect vibe. I'm chasing the flames. Chasing the flames. I'm chasing the flames.
Look at the size of this thing. Look how thick it is. This is a wet-aged tomahawk steak.
I'm chasing the flame, chasing the flame.
You know, last season, we never really spent a lot of time showing you what it's like in the prep process, the prep stage of getting everything ready. Look at the color here, everybody. This is really pretty stuff.
Oh yeah, we got beautiful caramelization. They rose a little bit. And those should be wow good.
There we go. Now the little thin guys.
And Chef has asked me to make this marinade with you for the ribs today.
And we'll get this big guy in there. And we'll set it here. We're gonna start it off. We're gonna get the heat radiating on those bones into that really good, scrumptious rib meat. It takes a village to put this show together and do all the cooks. And we're gonna go around like so. Now you're wondering, grill marking, prosciutto? We're gonna char a little lettuce for our friends. They want a little extra salad.
All right, so I'm just gonna roll them out over here.
The Yakitori grill. You listening to that sizzle? Ooh, wow. And it's just smelling groovy over here.
Chicken's not fatty, but there's fat in the skin. So we're trying to
cook
that fat out. I think we have a nice crispy skin. Now we're gonna put a little smoke on it. To add that little something special that you don't usually see in this recipe. Our pot is simmering here with all of our aromatics, our veggies, our red wine.
Look at every space there. We're bubbling. Look how even that bubbling is. Now this will rise, correct? For what, an hour?
Hour and a half to 2 hours.
And you know we like garlic around here. And my favorite, smoked paprika.
And then we're gonna get these on the grill. You don't really wanna cook these that long. I think mine's ready. Pepper cooked.
Bon appetit.
Smells good.
Oh,
Yeah.
This is a New Mexican seafood boil. Now I know that sounds kind of like odd, a seafood boil in New Mexico. That's a seeded green chili right there. And there you go. We've got a lot of good stuff here. Chef Audra's gonna walk you through this wonderful stuff. But I just wanted to come and say hi this season and show you my big prawns. Now, my wife always says, you know, go get some big prawns. I say, honey, I'm right here. I'm the biggest prawn. Just poach me, please.
So when you flip it over, you'll have your caramel, and then the flan, and then your cake is actually going to be the bottom.
Black pepper all the time. Just about everything you're cooking, you're always going to put some kind of salt and pepper seasoning in it. So you never want to run out. That's why I've got this big monster here. And so here we go. Let's fire it up. All right. Now we're going to add some beer. So we've got crab legs in there. And everybody is going to get a lobster today. Or maybe a half one if you're bad. How's that look? Perfect, perfect. This is about what we need to do when we season it, all right? And we're gonna poke some holes in here, and we're gonna plant a little garlic, a little mint, and these lemon slices are gonna go in there. And then we're gonna cook it on live fire in the coals after we wrap it in a little tin foil.
Now we're going to throw it into the beast, just long enough to try to release some of the aromatics.
A couple cloves of crushed garlic, right in the middle, beautiful.
The meat is shrinking, and so it's pushing out all that garlic, all those lemons that we stuffed deep in that tissue, and it is just gorgeous. Right on. That's pretty. Now, the fun part about carving the leg of lamb is right in the middle. I get to do that. Oh my God. So let's get the salt started. Say that 5 times real fast. Let's get the salt started. I couldn't say sous chef a few weeks ago. Don't know why. I'm gonna press that in again. This is what it looks like, and if you can feel it out here, it's a very significant amount of heat, which is part of what Binchotown is all about. We want that smooth bite that you get when shrimp is cooked just right. So, chef, take it away. Rock and roll.
Shrimp poaching time. It's already getting pink. So we're just gonna lightly cook, a gentle stir, kind of fold those into the potatoes.
Indirect heat and a lot of smoke. It's one thing about this little pit boss is that it really throws out a lot of smoke. So we're gonna get a very smoky flavor.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get these carrots right on the grill. Nice hot grill, about 450 degrees.
The end cut is always the chef's cut because it's my favorite. Look at this, oh, and we are done. That's prime rib. And I guarantee you this is gonna be wow good.
I'm chasing the flames, chasing the flames. I'm chasing the flames.
And she's she's the newest shoe.
Here, try this.
Now it's time to start eating what the flames.
And then a little later, chef will finish off at the grill pit thing.
that invoke a different sort of reaction in your favorite plot.
A couple cloves of crushed butter.
This is one of the advantages of being the chef. You get to taste all day long, and this is delicious. This is wow good, but don't tell anybody that I stole some.
I saw it.
Let's get back to chasing. Let's get back to chasing the flames.